Hey, why is it my virtual back?
There's Bob. I let Joe Grimaldi in a little early because Bob raised his hand just as I was trying to let him in.
Okay.
So we're just waiting for Deb.
Attorney Stetson, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Can you hear? Can you hear the car or not?
No. No.
Okay,
I can
good.
hear you. You just
Good.
focus on driving.
I will try.
All right. Well, hopefully Deb will join us, but we do have a quorum, right? One, two, yep. So I'm going to open up the meeting so we can dig in here. So good evening, all. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Town of Easton Planning and Zoning Board,
There's Deb.
February 13th, 2023. In keeping with an act relative to extending certain state of emergency accommodations, this meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. The meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. To use Zoom, you can follow the link on the calendar of the agenda for planning board. While board members and applicants will be on video and audio, public participants will join the webinar as an attendee, meaning they are muted with no video feed from them. During the public testimony portion of the meeting, members of the public can be recognized by using the raise hand function or the Q&A function on Zoom. If joining only by phone, you can press *9 to raise your hand. Board members are asked to announce themselves when making a motion and second, so it will be clear to the audience and minute takers who made the motion. All votes will be by roll call. To ensure we have a quorum, we will now have a roll call. Greg Strange, present. Robert Stetson.
Present.
Deborah Balsaric.
Present.
Peter Duchesne.
Present.
Amos Kedem. Amos Kedem.
Oh, we lost him there.
We just lost him. So, well, we know he was there and we can have him speak up when he signs back in. So, all right. So first up tonight, or the only thing up tonight, we have a continued public hearing, 464, 466 Foundry Street, special permit for multifamily and site plan endorsement. So I know I see Mr. Ferrier and Mr. Marioni online. I imagine one of them is going to take the helm. And please name and address for the record, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Scott Farrier, Holmgren Engineering, representing Fusion Investments for the project on Foundry Street. As you said, Attorney Marioni is with us. Joe Grimaldi, the owner applicant, is here as well. I just wanted to, I guess, just give a quick rundown of where we stand at this point, Mr. Chairman. We've, as you all know, we've been before you guys since way back in the summertime. We've had a couple of different iterations of the plan. The plan that we have before you tonight is the same building footprint as has been before you since, I believe, August or September. After our last meeting, and even going back a little bit earlier that into November, we were discussing with the board and amongst ourselves about the affordable component of the project. And at the time, we had 20 units with 2 affordable. After some discussion, we have increased the unit count to 22 units. And with those 22 units, we now have 6 affordable, getting us up over the 25%. That's helpful to the town as far as the affordability goes. So the building footprint stayed exactly the same. What we did was just kind of mess around with the layout of 1 and 2 bedroom units. So now we have 10 1-bedroom units and 12 2-bedroom units, where before there were fewer ones. So we basically took for 2 2-bedroom units, we could get 3 1-bedroom units. So that's how we came up with the additional 2 units on the site plan. As I said, the parking layout hasn't changed. The building layout hasn't changed, just interior changes. Along with the plans and the architecturals that have been uploaded for a while now to Permitize. Attorney Marioni also did a report explaining how the project met the special permit criteria. That has been on Permitize as well for a while now. So I'm hoping at this point, Mr. Chairman, we've talked enough about the project and that we're ready to close things out. But we'd be happy to answer any questions before that, obviously.
Greg, you're muted.
Okay, so board members, questions or comments?
Oh, are the affordable units, how many are 2 bedrooms and how many are 1 bedrooms?
That is a fair question. I don't have that answer off the top of my head.
I just asked because you said that you changed the ratio of 1 to 2, so I thought it would maybe you could just talk about the reasoning behind the change from the 2s to the 1s or otherwise.
Well, the main reason was to get the unit count up to the 22 units.
Mm-hmm.
If we weren't gonna to do it any other way, we would have had to add on to the building. To add on to the building, we would have lost open space, and also we would have increased the amount of work in the buffer zone and the impact on the wetlands. So we felt like keeping the footprint, as has been before you folks for months now, would be the better route to go and just adjust the footprint inside the buildings.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just have our department confirm now or later. That the ratio confirms with any DHCD type restrictions on balancing the number of bedrooms that are affordable and not within a development.
Certainly.
Chairman, I can answer that question. I can address that.
Feel free, Mr. Marioni.
So it's proportionate, right? It's typically the way municipalities want to see it. So it's proportionate. So it would be 3 2s and 3 1s. And then those would all meet the criteria. We've set it forth in our letter, but the criteria in terms of median income, so that the renters have to qualify.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Board members, any other questions? No comments from the other members? Or Peter, if you have more?
No, I'm making a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, well, let's hang on. Let's not get too far ahead here. Let's call in first the town planner. Okay,
Yes.
And ask if she has any questions or comments.
I don't. One of the items that the planning board was questioning was, or asking that the applicant complete the application process, permitting process with the Conservation Commission. That has happened, and the Conservation Commission has issued an order of conditions, and nothing has changed the project footprint layout, site massing. As a result of that, the stormwater management design has been reviewed and determined through peer review to be adequately designed as proposed. Again, the applicant has provided, Mr. Marioni has done a letter outlining how the project meets the criteria for a special permit, and also the benefits of the project that warrant the issuance of a special permit for the additional units. There was one notation, the last revision of the plan, the zoning table referenced, the zoning table indicated that the structure would be 3 stories, and that is not the case. It is still a 2-story structure. So any final approved plan will need to be resubmitted with that correction.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Attorney Marioni called it out in his letter, but just for those who are in the audience or those who are watching at home, during this process, just as a recap, we learned a little late in the game that we were not going to be able to install a crossing light, for lack of a better term, something that we had thought was going to be there from day one. And that caused some members of the board a little hesitation, wondering, okay, well, why are we allowing these units? What are we giving for mitigation? What is the applicant giving? So we're able to work and get up so that full 25% of the units are affordable. So every unit in the building will count towards SHI, which is the affordable number in town that towns have to hit, the 10%. So it's good to have that towards that. And if I'm not mistaken, there was talk of adding a sidewalk down to 5 corners, right? Which a sidewalk on this property, and then when I think in front of the bank. So when someone want to just speak to that, so folks can be brought up to snuff on it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So we are doing that right now. Currently, the bank next door to us has a gravel dirt sidewalk heading towards 5 corners. So we're building a sidewalk in the front of our property and also across the bank's property to where the existing concrete sidewalk ends before 5 corners. So from 5 corners to our project will be a brand new ADA compliant concrete sidewalk.
And is that sidewalk, I assume it's within the road layout?
Yes, sir. Within
the existing easement. So
yeah.
Who gives permission for that to happen? Is that the town, or is it, because I know the town controls this part of the state highway, right?
Mhm.
Right. We'll still need town approval, basically a road opening permit to work within the layout. Even though it's off of the paving, it's still within the road layout.
And has there been any discussion with the DPW regarding this, Stephanie? Are there going to be
Yes.
any hiccups unforeseen?
No, I had talked with Greg Swan, myself, and they're excited to see this.
Okay, well, that's certainly, if and when the board decides to vote on this project, any decision that would be included in it. Am I missing anything else in terms of linkage or mitigation? No, Scott or Mr. Marioni?
No, sir.
Okay. And also I see on the building, we had mentioned maybe eliminating the balconies or on Depot Street, and they have been, not Depot Street, Founder Street, and they have been eliminated, or at least for the most part. So
Right. Yep.
I think they can help improve the aesthetic.
Greg, I just wanted to add one more comment.
Okay.
So any decision would have some specific conditions on ensuring compliance with the local action units, which are what the affordable units are called, and will be reviewed by DHCD for inclusion in the subsidized housing industry. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you. All right, board members, any further questions before I ask the applicant if they want us to close the public hearing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Just a question maybe for Stephanie. Did we have any response or input from abutters to the property?
Abutters.
Are you abutters?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't received any in the office. There have, I believe, over the course of this project, there have been abutters that have been heard, or members of the public, right, Greg?
Yeah, early in the hearings, some of the direct abutters spoke up and for their support of the project, and during during at least two of the site walks out there, they came over and expressed their support also. I do see we have a hand up in the audience, so we should, if you could call up Dale Carrister. Dale, you know the drill. I just need your name and address.
I'm
for the record.
switching to the computer.
Okay.
Hi, Dale Carrister, 21 South Street. Just a quick comment. Thank you for hearing me. Can you, I'm getting some feedback.
Hey, Dale, hang on. Is everybody getting that echo?
Yeah, that's coming. I think it's coming from Dale, or was maybe.
Yeah, I think it's all set now.
Now it's all set. Okay, go ahead, Dale.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just a quick comment. I was hopeful that the project was going to go forward as originally framed, which was going to include some retail and restaurant space, in large part because that was consistent with what the public visioning session was, going back to when the town had that charrette some years ago. And I understand the different factors in play, and I'm pleased that, affordability issues are being addressed and so forth. I'm just asking for the board going forward for other projects to keep in mind that I think the folks generally were in favor of the zoning change that allowed for greater density, with the understanding that that was going to be part of sort of a mixed use neighborhood that was including restaurants. And I understand it can't be done on every particular project by project basis, but just remind the board of, even the statement that's made in the applicant's January 23rd letter, which just referred to the public visioning session, where residents and business owners define their vision of the future for the Five Corners in an area that feels more like a vibrant mixed-use neighborhood where people live, shop, eat, play, and work. I understand any particular project that you can't always accomplish all of those things. I would just ask, when other projects are coming up, just to remember that's the basis on which a lot of folks had supported the zoning changes. So I don't need any response. Just wanted to pass along that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Dale. Okay, so I will now ask the applicants if they would like us to close the public hearing.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
I will entertain a motion from the board, please.
Motion to close the public hearing. DeShane.
Second, Stetson.
That would be both public hearings, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Amended as so. We have a second. All those in favor: Greg Strange, aye. Peter DeShane,
Aye.
Robert Stetson,
Aye.
Deborah Balsaric,
Aye.
Thomas Kedem.
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is closed. If anybody would care to make a motion on the project, we can entertain that. Or if we want to just go home, we can do that too.
And Greg,
Yep.
just a reminder that you need 2 votes, one on the special permit and one on the site plan approval.
That is correct. Thanks.
So should we do those separately, Stephanie?
You can do them together. You just need to make sure that you do both.
Got it. I'll make a motion to approve the special permit and the site plan at 464 and 466 Foundry Street, Stetson.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor: Greg Strange, aye. Peter DeShane,
Aye.
Deb Balsaric,
Aye.
Thomas Kedem,
Aye.
Robert Stetson.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes unanimously. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks
Good
for
luck.
all the
Thank you
help,
for
folks.
working with us, and we look forward to seeing a vibrant, successful project.
Thank you,
in the
everybody.
near
Good evening.
future.
Thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
All right, let's pull up the agenda here. Where'd it go? Meeting minutes. Mr. DeShane? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second, Stetson.
Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor: Strange, aye. Robert Stetson,
Aye.
Deb Balsaric,
Aye.
Peter DeShane,
Aye.
Ms. Kedem. All right. Chair's report, nothing to report. Although I would just real quick, Stephanie, if we were to do any zoning amendments, what's our deadline?
We need to get started. And
so-
I don't have the date in front of me, but of course, you would want to have everything wrapped up and voted on by the first meeting in April in order to have the select board.
So I would bring this up. I'd ask this to be on the agenda for discussion in the next meeting, or any items everybody has. The only thought I had was in this district that we've been discussing, as we know, towards the end, we had the ratios in there, X number of units per, X square feet or whatever. And then we put in that, or more is allowed by special permit by the planning board. And I know we had some discussions that maybe that was a bit open-ended and hard to grasp for a board, or maybe, so my only question is, do we want to amend that or eliminate that last part or change it? Don't want to discuss it tonight. It wasn't on the agenda, but I'd like to discuss it at our next meeting and get people's thoughts. So that's all I have. Stephanie, do you have anything?
Just quickly, I'm going to mention the MBTA zoning. We talked about it a while ago, haven't talked about it for a while. Greg and I put together a timeline for moving forward on that zoning, which Greg and I reviewed, and we're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow, but I would expect maybe on the next agenda, Greg, we start, the planning board starts talking about it.
Sounds good to me.
I-
All right.
Wait,
I
I
think
do have a question. The MBTA compliance, where are we on that?
Well, so right now we're in compliance because we met the interim compliance requirements, including sending an updated timeline. And then to be in compliance beyond 2024, the town will need to adopt an MBTA by multifamily by right zoning district, which again could be comprised of several districts. So I will, Greg, if you're okay with it, I can send the board the timeline after
Sure.
tonight's meeting.
feel free. All right. We all set? Do you have anything else, Stephanie?
Nope.
All right. Who would like to send us home?
Motion to adjourn. Kevin.
Second, Stetson.
All right. All those in favor? Strange eye. Stetson?
Aye.
DeShane?
Aye.
Paul Sarek?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Amos, I appreciate the extra effort. It was an important meeting.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't have an accident. Walter, it's always a pleasure. So
I'm-
intimidated having you in our
yeah,
presence.
I'm leaving,
I have to get off this now. So.
I'm leaving
All right.
My
Good night,
pleasure,
everybody.
Craig,
Thank you.
my
Thank
pleasure.
you,
Good night.
Recat. Thank you,
Thank
Easton.
you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
And
Thank you.
Deborah, wait,
Good night.
I will be in Chile Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah. I will be in Chile and Argentina for 2 weeks.
everyone's jealous.